This plan today down there in Yuma, Arizona. You have heard some of the details of the president's policy. Are the Republicans like yourself going to side with the president?
You know, Nora, what we have said from the get-go is secure the border first. And we're not talking about closing it down. We're talking about controlling it and securing it. Follow that up with coming in and dealing with your employer enforcement provisions and with law enforcement. And then the third thing you do is get around and address the visa situation. But to announce something that is going to equate to amnesty is wrong.
But Congresswoman, the president says today what he's trying to do is resolving without amnesty and without animosity. He's going to propose what people are calling Z visas, where essentially it's a 3-year work visa, and you'd have to pay $3,500. And as Jonathan Weissman was just saying, there's a touchback policy in there. You do have to go back home and then come back. What's wrong with that?
What is wrong with that is that you are rewarding people who came into the country illegally, that broke the law to get here, that have lived in this country while breaking the law. It is amnesty. We know that amnesty was given in '86. It did not work. Anything that is a comprehensive program, saying we've got to do it all comprehensive rather than do it incrementally, means that we are not going to address the situation. And Americans are tired of this. They want to see that border secured. They want that done first and foremost, and then once we have done that, let's move on. Let's address the jobs magnet, let's address law enforcement, and then let's look at the visa quotas. And I hear that time and again from individuals in this country. They feel like that saying comprehensive reform is something that has been used to procrastinate on the issue because it has not brought us around to a workable solution.
So, Congresswoman, as you know, I mean, the president has been meeting with a number of Republicans to try and toughen his guest worker policy that he had previously, but you're saying it doesn't go far enough. Can you say today that you don't think there will be enough Republicans in the House of Representatives to get this thing passed for the president?
I would be very surprised if there are enough Republicans to do this. People in America do not want amnesty, and they have been very, very clear on that. They know that comprehensive reform does not work, that an incremental approach is what is going to work. They want to see the problem solved, and they know that it didn't create itself over 1 or 2 days, and it's not going to be solved with one stroke of the pen and one piece of legislation. We are going to have to work our way through this by addressing first things first. And the first thing first is to secure that border.
Let me ask you, there's a new Associated Press analysis that shows between October 2000 and September 2005, 98% of people caught crossing illegally are simply escorted back across the border and turned loose. Fewer than 3% are ever prosecuted. So, are you at all planning to address that particular issue? I mean, there doesn't seem to be any disincentive for them to try again to re-enter the United States.
You're exactly right. And time and again, there have been numerous bills that have been introduced in the House that deal with different portions of the border security and also with the jobs magnet that is here that deal with human trafficking. And again, there are laws that are on the books. It is a matter of enforcing the laws that are on the books. And as our constituents see people who have created a problem for themselves by illegally entering the country, and then they are caught in violation of the law in the states, and then they see them taken across the border and, you know, they're back within a week. They see that as being unfair. They see it as unjust. They want to see those laws enforced. And we have had plenty of those bills. We passed a lot of them in the House under Republican control. They did not make it through the Senate, unfortunately. And there are many of us in the House who are continuing to introduce those bills, whether it's addressing employers, whether it is addressing increased law enforcement, training for our law enforcement officials, and also looking at increasing the penalties in the criminal code for those that are breaking the laws.
Congresswoman, very interesting to talk to you. So just bottom line, yes or no, you think this new proposal by the president dead on arrival with House Republicans?
It is dead on arrival at my desk with me for my constituents.
Well, Congresswoman, thanks so much for joining us.